Hello and welcome into a full state playoffs episode of The Final Buzzer. The girls competed in the regional and quarterfinal rounds this week, and the guys began their tournament with by districts. And of course, it is playoffs, so you know we had to bring this out again. Like every week, today's show is broken up into two parts. We'll cover the girls' regional and quarterfinal rounds, take a break, and then dive into the boys by district. If you couldn't tell, we have all the high school basketball action you can handle coming up, so let's not waste any more time and bring this down to the final buzzer. Hit it. No local matchup to highlight for game of the week this week, so instead we are hopping right into the girls regional round from Monday. Let's dive into the regional round of high school girls state playoffs starting in Sulphur. Defensive battle all tied at 21 entering the fourth. Presley Gunther gets the three to fall to put Sulphur in front. Tied again with 5 minutes to go. Presley again, this time down low to take the lead. Her sister Sienna Gunter makes it a 4-point lead right after that. And it was all Gunter sisters in the fourth. Tors down 2. Sienna sinks the mid-range to tie it up with under 3 to go. Tors down 4, under a minute to go. Presley tosses in another to cut it to 2, but it wasn't enough. Terrebonne gets the upset over the Tors, 34-32. The Westlake Lady Rams looking to clinch a spot to the quarterfinals, but first they have to get through Pine. First quarter, Alicia Cuppins gets the Rams on the board first with the deep 2. Westlake creating more distance. Ivy Broussard finds a wide open Haley Wilrye, who pulls up with the mid-range jumper. And Wilrye not done yet. This time it's from downtown. She drains the 3-ball. Westlake up 7-0. After that, the Lady Rams come out on top in this one, defeating Pine 47-39. Now to Iowa, where 3 Lady Jackets were honored for hitting 1,000 career points. Congrats to Kimora Celestine, Camille Jones, and Aubrey Young. Iowa up 7 over Bastrop, and Aubrey Young gets the crowd on their feet with this 3. Iowa leads 31-24 at the break. Lady Jackets swarming. Tony Brown launches it down to Young, off the glass, and the foul. The Lady Rams would bring it within single digits, but here comes Janila Walker with the jumper. She gets that to fall, and Iowa continues their postseason run 67-44. Now to the Swamp. 2 sets of Gators battling it out in the regional round as Lagrange faced South Terrebonne. First quarter, Lagrange on the attack. Marley Alexis patient in the corner and strikes while the iron is hot to go up by 10. But Lagrange hunting for more as Leah Guillory zips it to Madison Carmichael. Count it, plus the foul. 3-point play makes it 24-7. And by this point, the Lady Gators in purple had put this away. Still in the first 10 seconds on the clock. Josiah Edwards buries the triple. Lagrange advances to the quarterfinals, winning this one 70-32. And a local matchup between 2nd seeded Maryville and 15th seeded Eastbo. Second quarter, Lady Panthers up 42-14. Their star guard Avery Canoyer with a head of steam gets in for the easy layup. Maryville slowing it down now. Karis Fortenberry finds Cassidy Wing, who lives up to her name, splashing the triple from the wing to make it 49-15. In the third quarter, it's getting physical in the post, but Raylan Williams is just too strong. She gets the and one to go up 61-22. Maryville dominates Eastbo 76-34 to advance to the quarterfinals. 2nd seeded Rose Pine Lady Eagles hosting 15th seeded St. Thomas Aquinas. 2 minutes into the game, no score. Case James up ahead to Raylan Ferris on the fast break, and she scores the first points of the game. Later in the quarter, Rose Pine up 3-0. Marley Jones takes it off the dribble and gets all the way to the rack for the and one. Lady Eagles lead 6-0. Jones with the rock again, this time distributing it to the senior Haley Calcote, who bangs home the 3, and it's 9-0. Rose Pine beats St. Thomas Aquinas 60-21 to advance to the quarterfinals. Now here's a look at some regional scores. South Bow and Lake Arthur will advance, and unfortunately Oakdale, Grand Lake, and Iota's seasons come to an end. Bell City advances to the quarters. St. Louis, Pickering, Hicks, and Lacassine all fell in their matchups Monday night. Fairview, Hathaway, Pitkin, Reeves, and Saline all advance. Hackberry and Singer lost in the regional round. Well, all those teams that advance suited up again for the quarterfinals on Thursday. Let's start in non-select Division II. Kicking these off in the Swamp, Lagrange hosting Albany. Kayla Harding scoring at will early on, getting downhill and finishing some tough buckets. Lagrange up 4-2 in the first. Gators turning up the pressure. Zalia Guillory with the steal, tosses it to her sister Anaya, and Marley Alexis finishes off at the rim, 6-2 Lagrange early. Second quarter, Harding continuing to have her way with the Hornets, scooping it up and in to make it 16-10. And Zalia Guillory tacking on 2 more with the pretty drop step and finish, and Lagrange gets the win 55-36 to advance to the semis. Well, you just saw Lagrange take care of business, so let's see, taking it to the bracket now, and let's see who Lagrange is going to play in the semis, advancing them over to the semifinals. And now we got North Vermilion and South Bow. I had visions of an awesome Lagrange versus South Bow game of the week in Hammond for the state semifinals, but North Vermilion spoiled all of those plans, narrowly beating the Lady K's to advance. Ooh, don't run away on me there. We got number 2, number 3 in the semifinals in Hammond, and that will take us to the next matchup here in Division II non-select. Iowa Wassman. Iowa couldn't quite get the upset over Wassman, and that's number 1 taking on number 4 in Hammond next week. And now we got Division III non-select. So let's roll these highlights. Over to Westlake. Rams hosting the Gina Lady Giants. Westlake up 10 in the third. Haley Wilrye comes up with the steal and calmly tosses it up and in off the glass to increase the lead. Up 14 in the fourth. Lilia Roussel showing off the size inside. Gets up for the putback for the Rams. Westlake continuing to suffocate the Giants on defense. Alicia Cuppins with the steal and floats it on the money. Ivy Broussard for the easy bucket, and the Rams get the big win, 57-35 to advance. And that is the only team we have to advance in this bracket. Westlake is going to be taking on number 2 Oak Grove in Hammond next week. And now we will move on to Division IV non-select. Back to those highlights. Maryville Lady Panthers hosting the Mangum Lady Dragons. Third quarter, Maryville up 45-31. Raylan Williams with the sweet feed inside to Miranda Williams, who gets her own miss for the and 1 finish. Avery Canoyer at the line, going for 3,000 career points. She knocks it down, and the crowd shows her some love for that huge milestone. And Canoyer would continue her special night, flying in for the layup to put her squad up 64-36. She finished with 37 points. Lady Panthers slay the Mangum Dragons 81-41 to punch their ticket to the semifinals. And back to the touchboard. Like I said, we got to advance Maryville with that big win over Mangum. And once again, my dreams of a game of the week in the semifinals were spoiled by Arcadia. They get the win over Lake Arthur, and they will take on Maryville in Hammond next week. And we've got one team in Select Division III, so roll those highlights. Rose Pine Lady Eagles hoping to advance over Geo Next Generation. Second quarter, Rose Pine up 14-11. Taia Brown fires from downtown and nails the triple to tie it up at 14 apiece. Then it was the Lady Eagles out in transition as Haley Cowcoat finds Case James streaking to the bucket to go up 17-14. Still the second quarter, Raylan Ferris threads the pass down low to Cowcoat. She gets the easy deuce, and the Lady Eagles are headed to Hammond, beating Geo Next Generation 58-39. And let's see who they will be taking on in Hammond. Rose Pine getting the win. They will take on the 3 seed. Ooh, almost ran away on me again there. Academy of Sacred Heart taking on Rose Pine in that matchup in Hammond. And now to Class B. We got a couple teams to look at here. Packed House and Bruin City for the quarterfinal versus Anacoco. Peyton Herpin not wasting time, getting down to business. It's up and in. And no, these aren't the same clips. This is just back-to-back plays, back-to-back threes for Herpin and the Bruins. Bell City up 22-15. Indians not letting them get kick their feet up on the couch just yet, making quick work of these passes. And it's Emily D'Amico who sinks it in 22-18. Maddie Stanley keeping things rolling for Anacoco, getting some pressure from the Bruins. She fights her way to the net and puts 2 more up to tie it, 30-30. Bruins up 34-33. Clancy Abear gets it back, sends a nice bounce pass to Kaylin Pierce for the layup, and the crowd's going crazy. The Bell City Bruins move on to the second round of playoffs, 57-44. Let's take it over to Pitkin for some girls hoops. Number 2 Tigers hosting number 7 Hathaway. Let's jump into the third quarter. Hathaway misses the 3, but Allie Crater is gonna haul in the board and find Kirsten Laverne for the layup. Pitkin looking to respond. Lexi Strother spots up and nails the 3 to cut the Tigers' lead to 7 going into the fourth. And this one was back and forth all in the fourth quarter. Tigers trail 39-32, but not for long, because here's Natalie Nolan with the deep triple. Hathaway lead cut to just 4. Then Nolan is going to find Charlie Lentz on the cut for the nice finish. Don't look now. Here comes the Lady Tigers. Hathaway looking to stay ahead. Crater is going to Euro step in the lane for 2 to extend that lead back to 4. But Pitkin had all the answers all quarter long. The turnover by the Lady Hornets leads to the ball movement from Pitkin. Finds an open Natalie Nolan for another deep 3. Crater now. She's going to have another answer on the other end. Hathaway now by 3. But Pitkin just couldn't miss down the stretch. The drive and tough finish by Lentz cuts this lead back down to 1. And then the Lady Tigers are going to seal it with a Lentz dime to Strother for the hook shot. And the Tigers close this one out on a 16-4 run. They pick up the win 48-43. On to Fairview now. Lady Panthers versus the Quitman Lady Wolves. First quarter, the ball is going to find Eli Goldman for the triple. Lady Panthers lead early. Quitman looking to keep this close. Anna Leach with the drive and the one finish. 16-12 Wolves trail by 4. More sharpshooting from Goldman. The catch and shoot 3 is butter. Fairview leads 21-13. And then Goldman is going to find Andrew Stanley for the 3. The Lady Panthers are going to punch their March Madness ticket, and they win 86-48. And now to the Class B brackets. Bell City advancing over Anacoco, and will take on Zwolle in the next round in Hammond. And we'll move over now. I finally did get my local matchup in the semifinals, because Pitkin beats Hathaway in that tight, close game. Exciting one we just saw. And then Fairview gets the win over Quitman. So now we are guaranteed a team at least in the Class B state final. So that should be exciting to watch. And that wraps up the girls section of the final buzzer. All the semifinal games will be played throughout the week in Hammond. So make sure you stay tuned for those next week, and make sure to stick around. We've got the boys by district slate coming up after the break. Hello and welcome into a full state playoffs episode of The Final Buzzer. The girls competed in the regional and quarterfinal rounds this week, and the guys began their turn. Welcome back to The Final Buzzer. Time to get these boys basketball state playoffs rolling. Adam Coleman and the Sulphur Golden Tours ready to make their playoff run. First order of business, defeating the Benton Tigers. Scoreless 3 minutes to start the first quarter, but Cole Doucette is about to change that. Bad pass by the Tigers gives Doucette the golden tickets to the one-hand jam. Crowd is loving it in Sulphur. Sulphur starting to ignite. Miles Brandon pulls up with a mid-range jumper. The Golden Tours up by 3 at the end of the first, and they kept building their lead in the second. Here it's Doucette from downtown, swish for 3. Golden Tours advance to the regional round, win this one 54-28. Moving on to Kinder, the Yellow Jackets hosting the Patterson Lumberjacks. First play, Dante Hayward gets us started with a deep 3 for the Jacks. Then Kinder going to respond. The sweet drive and acrobatic finish by Kingston Fontenot. But here's more Haywood for you. Another three. Patterson up 11-6. He had 16 on the night. And here comes Kinder and Latyrus Guidry. He pulls up for the deep bomb. Nothing but the bottom of the net. He had 24 points for Kinder. But check out Craig Johnson with the tough and one for the Lumberjacks. Too much Patterson in this one. They win in overtime, 56-50. East Feliciana is up next for the Lake Arthur Tigers in the bi-district round. Gabriel Turner sizes up a triple in the corner and drains it to make it 6-2, and the Tigers are fired up early. Tigers flexing their claws on defense. Breon McZeal gets the steal. Can't get the finish to fall, but Cameron Robinson showing off the hops tips it in to make it 13-12 Lake Arthur. Lake Arthur down 2 in the first. Turner still feeling it though. Hand down, man down. Number 11 on fire out of the gates gives the Tigers back the lead. Lake Arthur up 4. McZeal with another steal. Not going to miss the bunny that time. And with 3 seconds before the half, McZeal banks it home from just inside half court. And the Tigers get the win 78-51. Well, the Grand Lake student section in full force against South Plaquemine. Let's jump to the fourth. Grand Lake up 58-44. Mason Babineau with the jab step and goes straight to the bucket for 2. Hornets working it around the perimeter. South Plaquemine getting too aggressive, and Charles McFarland making them pay to go up 62-48. This one's all but over, but another basket never hurts. Keelan Vasquez catches the defense sleeping to add on to the Hornets lead. Grand Lake wins 66-52 to advance to the regional round. A-seeded Vinton Lions hosting the 25th seeded Delhi Bears. Lions up 3-2 in the first. Michael Lane spots up from beyond the arc, swishes home the 3-ball to take a 4-point lead. Lions down a bucket now, but not for long. Caden Malveaux nails the trifecta, and it's 11-10 Vinton. Delhi would take over the lead once again, up 18-13, but look at Kalen Ross splitting 2 defenders, getting all the way to the cup for the tough finish. The second half would be all Lions, beating Delhi 72-53 to advance to the regional round. More boys basketball action. Elton Indians hosting Homer High. How about we start off with some defense? The nice block and save by Jalen Thomas. Well, that's about as good as it would get for Elton. Pelicans come up with the steal and find Medizio Allen for the fast break finish. You don't hear that name every day. Then Cameron Waters is going to float it up and in for the deuce. Homer leads 10-4. Second quarter, the ball finds Cabradlin Dawson in the quarter, and he buries it, and the Pelicans are going to take this one 63-52. Well, not breaking out the touchboard for the boys just yet. We'll have that for next week, but now for some scores. Barb pulls off the upset, and DeRidder wins as well. Both will advance to the regional round. Iota, LaGrange, Oakdale, and Oberlin all fall. Rose Pine and Reeves pick up wins to get to the next round. Maryville, Bell City, and Hackberry all come up a little short. And now it's time for our play of the week. Maryville's Avery Canoyer gets fouled on a drive to the basket, goes to the free throw line, and hits 3,000 career points. Her family in the stands show her all the love after that. What an incredible accomplishment by Canoyer. Congrats on being the 7 Sports Final Buzzer Play of the Week. And her 37-point performance helped the Lady Panthers advance and will be in the running for this week's Team of the Week, along with the LaGrange girls, Barb boys, and Grand Lake boys. Make sure to hit the poll after the show on our website, kplctv.com, to vote who you think should win our Team of the Week between these 4 teams. I'll be looking to get the winning team's head coach on the playbook next week. Well, we were running a tight ship for the playoffs, second time in a row. The final buzzer is right on time. Thank you so much again for tuning in and enjoying some high school hoops with me this weekend. We only have a couple weeks left, so let's enjoy every moment until the final buzzer sounds. But like I said, that's in a few weeks, so we'll be back next week for some more high school basketball. I'll see you then.